What is up? Gordon here from Marmalead. I'm going to talk to you today about a couple tools that you can use online to help keep yourself safe. Richie and I are both pretty security savvy when it comes to our internet practices, whether it's personal stuff that we're doing online or financial things or business things. We like to stay pretty safe online, and there's a couple tools here that we're going to share with you that are really easy to set up, really easy to use, that will help keep you safe online. So, without further ado, I want to share with you, here's some statistics about malware. It used to be that, you could run virus software on your computer and it would pretty much clean up any of these little tiny things that would show up on your computer every now and then. It's getting harder and harder for virus software to keep the definitions alive. And the growing trend is for viruses to actually live in memory, which means that they might not actually ever touch your hard drive, and a virus detection software might not even see them. But malware is definitely increasing. However, this isn't the one that really scares me. The one that really scares me is this growing trend of what's called ransomware. Now, what is ransomware? So, ransomware is pretty nasty stuff. Let's say you're out online and you're surfing your favorite website. Well, just going there, you get burned all of a sudden by a malicious ad that's on the page. It's leveraging Flash, which 97% of the market has installed on their computers. I know I use Flash. If I didn't, about half the internet probably wouldn't be accessible to me. So kind of have to use Flash in this day and age. And what does it do? Well, so this executes code and it runs on your computer and it starts locking down your files. Well, at first that sounds like a good thing, right? Like we always talk about, it's great to have encryption. You should encrypt your files, keeps them safe. However, in this case, you don't have the ability to decrypt your files. Only this malicious software can decrypt the files. And this is where the ransomware part comes in. So hackers who have built this ransomware have encrypted your files on your computer. They are now asking you for money. This is often paid in the form of Bitcoin to them, and then they promise that once they've received the money, they will then decrypt your files for you. You get back all your spreadsheets, your family photos, and any kind of financial documents you have on your computer. Now, whether or not they actually do that is kind of up to them. Seems like track record so far has been that it actually does work for the different variations of ransomware that are out there. But to me, this all seems very scary, and I certainly wouldn't want to trust that some hacker is going to keep his word about whether or not my files will be accessible to me once I've paid $300 to $800 to get them back. So how do we stop this? How do we prevent this from happening? Well, the first thing we need to do is understand how this does happen. We kind of glossed over it there when I was explaining what ransomware is, but the main way that this stuff gets onto our machines is through ads. It's really easy to take out an ad and through some ad networks put malicious code in those ads and be able to execute on people's individual machines. Now, you might say, Gordon, I don't know what you're talking about here because I don't go to these crazy websites. I'm not going to some weird hacker sites that have all kinds of weirdness on them and funky ads. I'm just going to all the big main reputable sites that are safe, like Google and Bing and Yahoo, except that's not entirely true, right? Yahoo had an incident, I think it was last September, that they were hosting up malware. Right, they had ads on their site that were serving up malicious code that could damage people's computers. Now, we can't directly blame Yahoo for this because they're not the ones that are handpicking the ads that are going on their page. They're working with third-party ad providers who have to approve the ads. The ads get submitted to them. Yahoo just gets a cut of the revenue that they're earning from all these clicks and impressions of these ads that show up on their page. So Yahoo's not the one policing this thing. And that's part of the problem, really, is these sites. It could be a site with the best intentions in the world, but if they are working with a third-party ad provider, which you pretty much have to, it's really hard to serve up your own advertisements and attract your own customers who would want to purchase ads on your site. These advertising companies do not have the end user's interest in mind. That's you and me, right? They have the interest of their customer, who are the people paying them to get ads up on the website. And as long as they're doing a good job of that and serving up these ads, that's fantastic. They don't really care about the experience for any of us as we're seeing these things on the screen. So, what can we do about this? Well, the first tool we want to talk about today is AdBlock Plus. And there's a couple extensions out there that allow us to do the same thing, but AdBlock Plus has been around for a very long time. It has a very good proven track record, and it is my plugin of choice when I block ads. So I'm going to show you here real quick how easy it is to install this plugin. And now I'm using Chrome, but the steps that you would follow for other browsers are pretty similar. I do like Chrome over Firefox or Internet Explorer. So to install this in Chrome, I'm just going to go ahead and type AdBlock Plus Chrome. and Google handily pulls up the AdBlock Plus Chrome web store. All right, so we're looking at chrome.google.com. It's got a 4.5-star rating. I'll go ahead and visit this, and it's as easy as clicking this button that I want to add this to Chrome here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's going to confirm that I want to add this extension to Chrome. I will say yes, I sure do. And there we go. AdBlock Plus has been installed. So now you can see up here in the top right, you have a little AdBlock Plus thing that shows up that tells you that it has been installed and that it is running. And so when you go to any sites here, yahoo.com, for example, only the content that is being served by Yahoo, only their stories and their images, things like that are going to show up here. You won't see ads on this page, right? So that reduces much of the risk of falling victim to one of these malvertising campaigns, one of these ransomware campaigns where people are trying to get malicious software onto your computer. You can see here, now there's a little 11, which shows me that 11 ads on this page have been blocked. Now, the other tool that I would like to talk to you about is called LastPass, and maybe some of you have heard about this. This is a fantastic tool that I've been using for a long time. Richie uses this too, and I think Kevs does also. This basically is a password manager that keeps your passwords for all your sites in one spot. So you need to remember one password to be able to access all of your passwords for all the sites that you use. And they are encrypted, right? And you can access them on any of your devices. You don't have to worry about people getting their hands on any of your passwords because they are stored encrypted on LastPass's servers. Now, one of the things for me that sets LastPass apart from some of its competitors like 1Password is that these guys have actually shared publicly the protocols and the methods they are using to secure my information on their servers. And lots of these other places have refused to do that. Now, that makes me feel good that these guys are sharing their methods in doing that because it allows security professionals in the industry to look at those things and vet them and say, yes, in fact, these guys do know what they're doing. They built this thing correctly. And that's exactly what's happened. So that makes me feel good that there are industry experts who vouch for these guys and say that what they are doing correctly. They're doing it the right way. So what I'm going to go ahead and do here is log in. Now, I don't have an account yet, so I'm going to create an account with these guys. So I'm going to put in my email address here. Whoopsies. And let's see. This is your master password. You want to have a really good master password for your LastPass. So we can go over good password practices if you guys are curious about that, but I'm just going to go ahead here and make up a password. And pretty good, right? Filled the bar up most of the way. Password reminder if you want to have one. I don't really want one. Let's see. Time zone. I am in Eastern. Language, English. And yes, I read and agree to all those things. That's fantastic. It's very important you remember your LastPass master password. So they're going to quiz you here and make you re-enter to make sure that you know it. And there we go. So we have created our account. Now let's go ahead and download LastPass, which is going to go ahead here and download an installer so that we can install LastPass on our computer. In the meantime, I'm going to show you over here. Okay, so LastPass has finished downloading. I am on Etsy's website here. I'll show you this in a second. I'm going to go ahead and click this and run it. Yes, I trust it. English, install LastPass. Okay, I need to close Chrome before I can install. So let's log into an existing account. And my email address is gordon@marmalead.com. And I enter my password. And hopefully I typed that correctly. So it has installed the LastPass browser extension for me here. It's available under here. I can either enable it or remove it from Chrome. I'm going to enable it because I use this extension all the time inside of Chrome. This is really where the benefit is. All right, so now it's created this little extension icon here, just like I have next to my AdBlock Plus. I need to log in to this extension so that it knows who I am. So just like I logged in to install it, I need to log in here. There we go. I have it remember my email address. I do not have it remember my password because anyone who gains access to my computer, if it's a laptop or whatever, could get access to all my passwords. I don't really like that idea. So I have it remember my email. I like to type in my master password every now and then when it logs me out and prompts me to log back in again. So I'm going to go ahead and log in. It turns red to show me that I have done this. I have logged in correctly. LastPass Vault is ready. Fantastic. All right, so how do we want to get started? I don't really want to do any of this right now because that's cool. I don't really care about that. I'm going to show you guys how to use this with your Etsy accounts. So here I am over at Etsy, and I'm going to go ahead and sign in. So here we go. I have logged into Etsy. It sees me as Marmalead. That's fantastic. And LastPass right here. Should LastPass remember this password? Absolutely. Now, you're going to be finding yourself doing this repeatedly over and over again for all the different sites that you go to until you get them added to LastPass. So you do this once for each site. Here we go. I've added it. Save. Looks good. There we go. Now I'm going to show you how this works. LastPass is showing me that it does have one account for this website that I'm on right now, which is Etsy.com. I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Now, when I go back to sign in, two things have happened here, right? There's this little icon here that's the LastPass icon. I can pick from accounts here, and it's pre-filled my username and password. We don't want to have the browser remember this stuff. Browsers don't do a very secure job of remembering usernames and passwords. Again, anyone who gains access to your computer, laptop, you leave it somewhere, whatever, if you're storing your passwords in your browser, you want to remove them right now because if that could happen, they would have access to everything. So this is being pre-filled by LastPass now. If I go here, I can see the different accounts that I have. I only have one right now for Etsy, but I go ahead and select the account and say sign in. And there we go. I didn't even need to see or remember my password for this Etsy account at all. Now, the other thing that LastPass allows you to do is create super secure passwords. So if I go in here to my account settings, and I want to change my password. So my password is here, right? Now, there's this other icon that's shown up here, right? This isn't an Etsy icon. This is asking for my current password. I can use LastPass to fill that in. There they go. Done that for me. I'm going to change my new password. I don't want my new password to be the same. I can use this little cool button here, right? This opens the password generator, okay? So you can change this to a nice long 20-character password. You can even use special characters, which I like to do. Capital letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters. And it's going to generate passwords. You can do this as much as you want. It's going to keep building crazy passwords for you. Now, there's no way I could remember this on my own. This is one of the benefits of LastPass. This is a fantastic password. This is nice and strong. We've got capital letters, lowercase letters, numbers, and symbols in here, and it's 20 characters long. That's fantastic, right? I wouldn't want to write this down. I wouldn't want to have to keep track of this on my own. This is one of the strengths of LastPass. It will remember this for us. So I can say, let me copy that. Let me say use password. Boom. Fantastic. And it's asking me, oh, hey, we saw that you just generated a new password for this website. Do you want to use this for this website or save it as a new entry for the site? So yeah, well, I'm here and I'm on this account. So yeah, let's use it. All right, cool. We just updated your password. So it has been updated within LastPass. It has not been updated within Etsy yet. But if I go ahead and say change my password here, boom, your password has been changed. Please sign in again. If I sign into Etsy, and if I go in here and I go into edit, this is going to allow me to see that entry inside of LastPass. If I say view here, you can see that is exactly the password that we just generated. It remembers that now. All right, so save that. And yeah, sign in. And there we go. LastPass has remembered our password, and we were able to generate a super strong password for the site. Now, I would do the exact same thing for other important sites too. So email accounts, financial things like your bank. I definitely use LastPass on my bank. Any place where I really want to generate a nice, like, strong, long, secure password, I use LastPass for that. It's fantastic for that. The other awesome thing about LastPass is they have a really nice mobile app for Android and for iOS that allows me to access these crazy passwords on my mobile devices too. So if I'm logging into an app or if I'm logging into a website on my phone, I can really easily pull up LastPass, find my password that I need, and fill it into that page without me needing to actually know my passwords for any of these websites. Now, one of the other really nice features about LastPass is there are things called phishing attempts where people will send you emails that look like legitimate emails, but they're fake, right? They're trying to get you to divulge your credentials for, say, PayPal.com. Now, I'm going to go ahead and go to PayPal, actually. Now, if somebody sent me an email that said, hey, thank you for your funds transfer. Go here to view the money that you just transferred to me. And you say, whoa, wait a minute. I didn't transfer any funds. And you fall victim to their evil plot. You click their link, you go to their site, and it looks exactly like PayPal, right? Because that's usually how they set these things up. They make them look exactly like PayPal. But if you look closely up here in the URL, you would see that it is not, in fact, PayPal.com. It is some other domain. The cool thing about LastPass is that if you had your PayPal credentials already stored inside of LastPass, they would not show up on that malicious website because it would know that that wasn't really PayPal. You would come in here to LastPass and it would say, you don't have any accounts here. What are you trying to do? And that's an immediate tip off to you that, whoa, okay, why don't I have my accounts in here? I know I have my PayPal accounts in LastPass. LastPass is, in fact, protecting you from logging into a site which is saying it's PayPal and is not, in fact, PayPal. So that's one of the other things that I like about LastPass. I don't have to pay as much attention to that when I'm getting emails, when I'm going to click links and log in places. If I'm not at the legitimate domain, PayPal.com in this case, that I need to be, whether it's here, my bank, or whatever, it's not going to pre-fill any of my credentials. So it's keeping me safe in that way too. So we covered some good tips here about a couple extensions in Chrome to help keep you safe online. We've got our ad blocker that is saving us from getting infected with malware and ransomware, which can be pretty nasty. And we have LastPass, which is keeping track of our passwords in a very secure way and allowing us to access those passwords across multiple devices. So if you guys have questions, feel free to reach out to us at success@marmalead.com. Definitely encourage you to check these things out, try them. I should mention, too, that if you find that you don't like them, if we go into Chrome, if I go into my settings here, extensions, here's everything in Chrome. You can either disable AdBlock Plus or delete it itself, right? And same thing with LastPass. If you ever have plugins in here, and it's probably a good idea if you have a lot of plugins anyway to kind of go through them every now and then and clean these things out because you don't want to collect a bunch of things that can slow down your browser. But if you do want to get rid of these, this is how you do it. You either disable them, or if you're really not going to use them anymore, you can go ahead and remove these things, and it will just clean them off for you. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and remove my ad blocker and throw caution to the wind. And there you go. I'd love to hear any comments or feedback you guys have, and stay safe out there. Happy marming.